Hey, Sip and Talkers. Welcome back to another episode where we, sip and talk, and we dive deep into the stuff that makes it go. You got your drink ready.
Always. Got my trusty green tea. What about you?
You already know. Double espresso extra shot. Hold the judgment. So you won't believe the letter we got from our buddy Micky. Remember Micky?
Oh, yeah, Micky.
Travel fanatic, cocktail connoisseur, the guy who's always up for an adventure.
The one who's been planning that epic round-the-world trip for, forever.
That's the one. Well, his trip kicks off tomorrow. Literally tomorrow. But here's the thing. He's having some serious second thoughts.
Wait, seriously, he's been dreaming about this trip for months. Let's give him cold feet now.
Right. He wrote us his letter, and it's a whole roller coaster of emotions. He's excited, he's anxious, he's even wondering if he should just stay home in his pajamas and binge-watch bad reality TV.
Okay, I kind of get that pajamas are comfy, and let's be honest, sometimes reality TV is the best escape. But ditching a dream trip for that? Come on, Micky.
Exactly. We thought so too.
Yeah.
Which is why we decided to do a deep dive into this whole want versus do phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it that sometimes we're so gung-ho about something and then, bam, the fear monster shows up and throws a wrench in everything?
It's like our brains are playing tricks on us, right?
Totally. So we did some digging, consulted the all-knowing Google, and guess what we found?
What?
A bunch of psychological theories that actually explain why we self-sabotage like pros. And trust me, it's not just laziness.
Okay, I'm all ears. Spill the tea, or should I say spill the psychological secrets?
So first up, we have something called reality testing theory. It sounds super official, but basically it means our brains are amazing at painting this rosy picture of the future, especially when we're excited about a goal. Like we see ourselves sipping cocktails on a white sand beach, exploring ancient temples, living our best lives.
But then reality bites back, right?
Yeah.
Like, hello, jet lag, missed flights, language barriers, and maybe even a few dodgy street food experiences. Suddenly, that comfy couch at home starts looking pretty good.
Exactly. It's like that gym membership I buy every January.
Right.
In my head, I'm already rocking those six-pack abs, feeling super fit and healthy. But then I remember how much I hate burpees, and suddenly that bag of chips is calling my name. Reality testing at its finest. Am I right?
Oh, tell me about it. I had this grand vision of myself speaking fluent Mandarin by now. I even bought a bunch of language learning apps, but then the tones hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was back to binge watching Netflix.
So reality testing explains why those initial doubts creep in. But what about that deeper level of resistance, that fear of stepping outside our comfort zone? Like, isn't that kind of ingrained in us?
That's where comfort zone theory comes in. Our brains are wired to crave what feels safe and familiar. It's a survival instinct. You know, back from the days when venturing into the unknown could mean running into a saber-toothed tiger.
Ooh, scary. So basically our brains are like, nope, I'd rather chill in my cave and eat berries. Thank you very much.
Pretty much. And that's why even thinking about doing something outside our comfort zone can trigger all kinds of anxiety. It's like when I try a new restaurant, I always end up scanning the menu for something familiar, even if it means I'm stuck with the same boring chicken dish for the 100th time.
Oh, I totally get that. I'm the queen of ordering the same thing at every restaurant. But hey, at least I know what I like.
Fair enough. But think about Micky. This round-the-world trip is like the ultimate comfort zone challenge. The complete upheaval of his routine, and that can be pretty terrifying for our little caveman brains.
Okay, I'm starting to see Micky's dilemma in a whole new light. But here's another thing. What if Micky's just burnt out from making all those travel plans? Like flights, hotels, visas, packing, itineraries. It's a lot to juggle. Could that be a factor too?
Absolutely. That's where decision fatigue rears its ugly head. Making big decisions, even exciting ones, takes a lot of mental energy. And after a while, our willpower just gives up, and suddenly the easiest option, which is usually staying put, starts looking pretty appealing.
It's like when I go grocery shopping on an empty stomach. I end up buying everything in sight because I'm too hungry to make rational decisions.
Right. Or think about those late-night online shopping sprees. Decision fatigue is definitely a thing, and poor Micky has probably been bombarded with a million decisions while planning this trip.
No wonder he's having second thoughts. So we've got reality testing, comfort zone fears, and decision fatigue. Are we missing anything?
Oh, we can't forget the dreaded anticipatory anxiety. That's the voice in your head that's like, what if everything goes wrong? It's the fear of the unknown, the imagined disasters, and the what-ifs that keep us up at night.
Oh, anticipatory anxiety is my specialty. I can spend hours worrying about things that never even happen. Like, what if I trip and fall on stage during a presentation? What if I accidentally offend someone with a joke? What if I get food poisoning from that questionable-looking street vendor?
You know what's funny? While I can't stand all the what ifs, I kind of respect this whole anticipatory anxiety thing. Because guess what? It's actually our brain's way of trying to protect us.
Wait, seriously? So all this anxiety is actually a sign that our brains are working properly. I don't know whether to be relieved or annoyed.
It's both. It's like our brains are saying, hey, I know you want to explore the world and try new things, but hold on a second. Let's assess the risks, plan for the worst case scenarios, and maybe pack an extra bottle of hand sanitizer just in case.
So basically, our brains are like overprotective parents who are constantly reminding us to wear a helmet and call home every hour.
Exactly. But sometimes those instincts can be a little too much, you know? Like, we can't let fear paralyze us from living our lives.
Right. There has to be a balance, right, between listening to our brains and actually taking a leap of faith sometimes.
Totally. And that's what makes this whole want versus do thing so fascinating. It's this constant tug of war between our desires and our instincts, between our dreams and our fears.
Okay, so we've laid out all these theories, but how do they actually apply to Micky's situation? I mean, we can't exactly diagnose him from a letter, can we?
Well, not exactly. But we can try to see his anxiety through the lens of these theories. Maybe that'll help us understand his dilemma a bit better. And hey, maybe it'll even help some of our listeners who are battling their own want versus do struggles. So let's rewind back to Micky's letter. He mentioned being worried about the hassle of travel. To me, that just screams reality testing.
Totally. He's probably picturing, those long lines at the airport, lost luggage delays, maybe even a few awkward encounters with, overenthusiastic pigeons in some European square.
Exactly. All those little anxieties that can, gang up on us and turn into one big nope from our brains. And remember, he mentioned wanting to just stay home in his PJs and sleep?
Oh, yeah. That definitely sounds like the comfort zone, whispering sweet nothings in his ear. Stay here, it says, where it's safe and cozy. But Micky's been meticulously planning this trip for months, right?
He has. So that brings us to decision fatigue. Think about it. Booking flights, choosing accommodations, researching destinations, creating itineraries. That's a ton of decision-making.
No wonder he's second-guessing everything now. It's like when you spend hours trying to pick out an outfit for a special occasion, and then you end up wearing the same jeans and T-shirt you wear every day because your brain is just fried.
Right. Or that time I spent an entire afternoon trying to choose between 2 different brands of toothpaste. Seriously, some decisions just suck the life out of you.
And then, of course, there's the anticipatory anxiety factor. Micky's probably playing out a million what-if scenarios in his head.
Oh, absolutely. What if he gets lost in a foreign country? What if he can't understand the language? What if he encounters some kind of crazy travel mishap that ends up on one of those world's funniest travel fails videos?
Okay, let's not go there. Micky, if you're listening, we believe in you. You've got this. But I think the point is that all of these fears, even the seemingly irrational ones, are actually quite normal. In fact, as we learned from that brain article, they're a sign that our brains are doing their job trying to keep us safe and sound.
Exactly. It's like our brains are our own personal risk assessment team, constantly evaluating potential threats and urging us to proceed with caution.
So it's not about ignoring our anxieties, right? It's more about recognizing them, understanding where they're coming from, and then choosing to move forward anyway.
Right on. It's all about finding that sweet spot between being cautious and being courageous.
Okay, so we've talked about the psychology behind resistance, but what about the flip side? Why do we even want to do these things in the first place? What drives us to step outside our comfort zones and chase those big dreams?
Well, I think that's where the magic happens. It's about growth, about expanding our horizons, about challenging ourselves and discovering what we're truly capable of.
It's like that feeling you get when you conquer a fear or when you accomplish something you never thought you could grant. Remember that time we went ziplining? I was terrified, but I did it anyway, and it was amazing. I felt like I could fly.
Oh, yeah. And remember how proud we were of ourselves afterward? We actually faced our fears and came out on top.
Exactly. And those are the moments that make life worth living, right? The ones that push us outside our comfort zones, that challenge our beliefs, that make us feel truly alive.
And who knows? Maybe by pushing through those initial doubts and anxieties, Micky will discover something incredible about himself. Maybe he'll find a new passion. I connect with people from different cultures, or maybe he'll just come home with an epic collection of travel stories and cocktail recipes.
Okay, but we also have to acknowledge that sometimes listening to our fear, is the right choice. Like, what if Micky had a legitimate medical concern or a family emergency? Or maybe he just realized that spending a year traveling the world wasn't actually aligned with his values and goals.
We're absolutely right. It's not about blindly ignoring our intuition or dismissing our fears. It's about discerning between those gut feelings that are genuinely trying to protect us and those that are just holding us back from living our fullest lives.
So it sounds like there's no easy answer here. There's no one-size-fits-all solution to the want versus do dilemma.
Nope. It's a complex interplay of psychology, personal circumstances, and maybe even a sprinkle of cosmic fate.
But hopefully, by understanding the underlying mechanisms at play, the reality, testing the comfort zone, fears, the decision fatigue, and the anticipatory anxiety, we can make more informed choices, both for ourselves and for our buddy Micky.
And speaking of Micky, if you're out there listening, we're sending you all the good vibes. Go have an amazing adventure, embrace the unknown, and don't forget to document it all for your awesome YouTube channel, Mickytolife.
Yes, we can't wait to hear all about your travel tales, your cocktail discoveries, and your hilarious cultural mishaps. And for everyone else out there battling their own want versus do dilemmas, remember this: you're not alone. We've all been there. We're all figuring it out as we go. So what are your big dreams, Sip and Talkers? That business you've been thinking about starting, that creative project you've been putting off, that trip you've always wanted to take?
What's that one thing you've been wanting to do but haven't quite gotten around to?
And more importantly, what's holding you back? Is it the reality-testing monster whispering doubts in your ear?
Or maybe it's the comfort zone, that cozy little bubble we all know and love, keeping you from taking a leap of faith.
Or could it be decision fatigue, that sneaky energy drainer that makes even the simplest choices feel overwhelming?
Or maybe, just maybe, it's a healthy dose of anticipatory anxiety, reminding you to plan carefully and pack extra snacks just in case.
Whatever it is, we encourage you to face it head on. Because here's the thing. Even if things don't go exactly as planned,
and let's be real, they rarely do.
you'll learn something along the way. You'll grow, you'll stretch, you'll create stories worth telling.
And who knows, you might even surprise yourself with what you're capable of.
Exactly. And if you need a little extra inspiration, just think of Micky out there, exploring the world, sipping on exotic cocktails, and hopefully not getting lost in translation too often.
We're rooting for you, Micky.
And remember, Sip and Talkers, you're not alone in this crazy journey called life. We're all in this together, figuring things out one sip, one step, one decision at a time.
And if you ever need a virtual pep talk, a listening ear, or just a good laugh, you know where to find us.
Head over to our Sip and Talk Facebook group. It's a judgment-free zone where you can share your dreams, your struggles, and your questionable online shopping purchases.
We've got your back, no matter what.
So that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the fascinating world of want versus do. We hope you learned a little, something, laughed a little bit, and maybe even felt inspired to take a leap of faith yourself.
And don't forget to check out Micky's awesome YouTube channel, Mickytolife, for some serious travel and cocktail inspiration.
Until next time, Sip and Talkers, keep dreaming big, keep sipping responsibly.
And keep those questions coming.
Cheers.